Hi Aquarius, this is Jody with Soul Purpose Tarot. I am in Carmel, Indiana. I am a Libra Sun, Capricorn Rising, Sagittarius Moon. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. What I normally do is let flip, fly, or fall anywhere from 5 to 7 tarot cards. Take a look at that. Are we looking at life, love, career, or health? And then clarify with various oracle decks. So let's see what's going on for October for you guys. One flew on the floor. All right, so the first card up is Temperance. Trying to get some balance in your life, and the Five of Cups. That just makes me feel like emotionally you've been kind of, I'm not going to say depressed, just kind of blah. You know, kind of like you're not excited about anything. You're not really depressed, but you're just kind of like at the middle of that space of where it's like, there's got to be more to life than this, is the feeling that I'm getting. It's kind of like something's missing. Let's see what else is going on with Aquarius. What else is going on? What are you feeling is missing? What is going on with Aquarius? All right, so there's 3 that just flew out. Strength. Okay. An Ace of Swords and 2 of Cups. All right, so what I'm seeing here is that one of the reasons you are feeling kind of blah and just kind of like apathetic, I feel like that is the word, apathetic, is you're not really happy where your current love relationship is. And you're, with the Strength card coming up and the Ace of Swords in reverse, it makes me think that you're like, you know, one of the places that things are off balance for me is with my like relationship, my love relationship, my partnership. And you're kind of got this like little voice inside going, I need to have a talk with them. I need to tell them that I'm not happy, and I'm trying to get this, you're trying to get the strength up to have this conversation. So there's something about this conversation that has you worried or concerned. It's like this feeling of like, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to upset them. But I'm also like not really happy with where things are right now. So I feel like I need to fix that. So there's this like push-pull going on in your brain of like, do I say something? Is it that big of a deal? Or do I leave it alone? Okay, this felt, yeah, well, a decision. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. I was like going, that's exactly what you're trying to do, is you're trying to make a decision. Do I say something or do I leave it alone? Is it that big of a deal? Or is there something else in my life that is out of whack that needs to be adjusted or addressed? So that feels like that's what's going on right now. It's like, you know, something's off, but you're not quite sure what is off. Feels like it might be in the relationship, and like this is taking me back to a guy that I dated. God, I'm like, we're like looking at 5 years or so ago, and afraid. So that makes sense. You're afraid that it could rock the boat. So I knew at that point in time, like something was off in my life. And I was adjusting chess pieces, like going, okay, so is this what's out of balance? Is this what's out of balance? Is this what's out of balance? And I was like trying to move around things and figure out where things were off, because my inner GPS system was telling me something is not right. I am out of alignment somewhere, somehow. I don't know how. So you start making adjustments in different areas, spiritually, physically, relationships, you know, all the different places that affect the balance and out of balancedness in your life. And so that feels like this is what's going on. It's kind of like something's off. I'm out of alignment someplace. I'm feeling like maybe my relationship's a little off balance. And is that it? Is this where I want to start first, or do I want to try other areas? And you're kind of like, I've tried everything else. And so, oh goodness, stressed. I feel like having this conversation has got you stressed out a lot. But I'm not sure what it is. So I'm just going to keep going. So what are your current emotions around this? Like I said, you got the strength card. So you're trying to be strong about this and loving towards yourself and towards the other person. But there's something that's off. Desperate in the reverse. So it's like you're not desperate yet. And you're trying to make some adjustments before you get to that desperation mode and before things get too far gone that you can't bring it back to life type of thing. Or maybe it's a case of like you feel like it's maybe going down the wrong direction. And if you don't like kind of stop it, it's going to go off in the ditch. And that's what you're trying to get the strength up to do is like going, hey, we need to change some things up here, because if we continue doing what we're doing, we're just getting farther and farther and farther apart in our communication, in our feelings. I'm getting bored. I'm losing hope. Whatever you're telling yourself, you're kind of like, I feel like you're like getting ready to send the like you're like doing an SOS call. Something needs to change. Bored. And you don't want to get bored. I just said, you're afraid things are maybe bored and you don't want to be bored. You don't want to continue down that road. What else is going on? What else is going on emotionally with this particular relationship? Embarrassed. Okay, so you're embarrassed about something. I'll tell you what's coming up here for me. Is it feels like you want to try something sexually, perhaps. A little off the wall, and you're a little embarrassed about your body. It's like you're thinking, maybe if I like jazz things up or zhoosh things up in our sex life a little bit, spice things up a little bit, you want to do that. But I feel like maybe you're having a little bit of fear about that whole thing. You're afraid and you're thinking this would probably help things, but it's stressing you out. I'm curious if this is the case. It could be something completely different that you're embarrassed about, but that's what's coming to mind. Because, I mean, she's standing there naked, and this is regarding a love relationship and boredom, and that would certainly, like, jazz things up if you got a little kinky. Wasn't expecting this reading to go this way, but hey, whoever it goes to. All right, so let me think about this. Let me think. Which cards do I want to use? I have sex cards, but they're in the drawer, and they're probably buried way down, and so I'm not going to pull those out. Okay, so what are you afraid of? I'm just going to ask, what are you afraid of? I mean, we've got the afraid card. We've got the stressed card. What are you really afraid of when it comes to having this conversation and trying to make the decision that's going to improve things or make things I feel like things are going to make things worse potentially, and you're not looking at it like going, this could really make things better. And what are you afraid of? I'm just going to say, what are you afraid of? Gossip. That could be, okay, so, like, this is crazy. Okay, so let's pretend that you want to do like a little porn session with you and your significant other, spouse, whatever. There is some fear around that, because what if you break up in the future and this video gets around and people gossip about you? So that's one of the things that might be in your head. Or if you do this and it doesn't go well, if you are trying to like spice things up in the bedroom and it doesn't go really well, and your husband goes and tells the coworkers that he works with, so that embarrasses you. So there's a little bit of embarrassment, or you're worried about people are going to talk about you if it fails But if it's a win and they're talking about, and he's talking about like how fabulous this turned out, would you not be happy about that? What else are you afraid of? What else are you currently afraid of? I did not realize this was going to be a sex therapist reading, but hey, you know, I always ask for readings for that's going to do somebody some good. Joy. What are you afraid of? Okay, so what are you afraid of? Okay, so this is weird. So you're also afraid that if you do try something and it turns out good, then you're going to have to keep doing stuff like that. And that gets you out of your comfort zone because you're already out of your comfort zone here. Whatever it is you're thinking about doing, you're out of your comfort zone. And it's kind of like going, oh my God, what if this turns out really good? And then he asks for that again, you know, or he wants to try something different or something. So there's just, you're all, I'm just going to say, you're all up in your head about a whole lot of nothing is the feeling. Your brain is your worst enemy right now. Facade. You doing whatever you want to do feels very out of your comfort zone, and you don't like pretending to be somebody that you're not. Fake it until you make it. Is there anything else I'm getting with that? What else are you afraid of? What else are you afraid of? So, well, you guys are at an impasse right now. But that's another thing. It's like you're afraid that if you don't do something, you're going to stay stuck where you're at. And again, things are going to continue to get worse and go down the ditch. So it's a case of like you realize that you've got to do something. You just, at this point in time, I feel like you're like, I don't know what I need to do. Maybe you have a lot of ideas, but you feel like you're like, I need to shake something up because I'm getting bored. They're probably getting bored. This is, you know, this is not going in the right direction. Mysticism, that always makes me think like your guides are pushing you to do something. It's like you feel like something is off. You feel like something is wrong. And you're like, I got to do something before it gets worse, is just the feeling that I'm getting here. Okay, so we're at 12 minutes. Let me think about this. What do you have to look forward to? Since this is kind of turned out to be a little bit, it feels like it's a little bit of a love reading. What do you have to look forward to if you break through this fear that you have and shake things up? What do you have to look forward to? What is the potential outcome? Oh gosh, a bunch. Creativity, life purpose, the garden, the sacred woman. Now, notice you've got a couple here that's kind of, they're going up a stairs and maybe into a better place. So that's good. Okay, life purpose. I'm not sure what about doing this, stepping out of your comfort zone could have to do with life purpose, but there might be something, you know, good Lord, maybe you turn into some kind of a guru that saves people's marriages because you get the nerve to go, you know what, I was at my wit's end and this is what I tried and it changed everything around, and that becomes your life purpose. I don't know. The garden, I feel like, oh, hang on a second. I thought there was a couple laying there. It's just one person, but it feels like that's a good place to be. And the sacred woman, there could be some sacred sexuality that comes out. Maybe it's taking things up a notch somehow. I don't know. This reading is totally turning out different. Or this is going to be specific for somebody. Let me get one more of these. What else can you look forward to if you take this risk to shake things up and move, keep your relationship from going in the ditch? I feel like I want that card. Spiritual maturity. So something about, and that's also a couple walking up to a higher place in their relationship. So something about this is like kind of it feels like very spiritual, kind of taking things to the next level spiritually. And I don't know, I'm curious. Somebody will have to let me know where this is all going. Okay, let's do one last thing. I'm looking at all my cards here. I got lots and lots of cards. Sacred Traveler. You know what? I'm going to take these. Last call from the universe. Last words from the universe about this situation. Thing that you're wanting to do, need to do, feeling the call to do. What? Oh, we got all kinds of stuff coming out. Okay. View from above. Get the big picture. So there is a bigger picture to this whole thing. Somehow, solitude. In silence, peace prevails. I'm thinking that's just saying go within and feel it out and think about it and see if you can't get some guidance from your guides on what to do, and maybe get some peace about this whole thing and get your nerves to settle down about what you want to do and feel it through, and decide if it's nerves that are like kind of in your stomach or if it's just like fear or whatever. Fellow travelers, support is all around you. Ask your guides for help or ideas. Maybe that's what you need to do. Oh, we got two here. Narrow pathway, tread thoughtfully. All right, so just don't go about this all willy-nilly. Think about it and plan it out. And taking shelter, the answers are within. All right, there's the other one that's like go within, get your answers, figure out what to do. That'll help with the stress. Kind of that might shut that down if you can just kind of relax and let your guides lead the way on what needs to be done and go from there. Okay, that's all the sex therapist advice I have for today. I am curious if this matches up with anything anyone is going up with, so please comment, share, like, or whatever. And this could be for a lot of other people besides Aquarius. Thanks, bye. See you middle of October.